Hello again, everybody. Barry Hyatt here in Scottsville at the University of Kentucky Extension office with my buddy Janet Johnson, who's maybe a little under the weather today.
Just a little bit, Barry. If you see me kind of blinking my eyes a lot, it's kind of those spring allergies coming early.
Yes. And speaking of green, of course, we're in March now, and spring won't be too far away. And of course, later this month, we've got St. Patrick's Day.
That's always fun to think about green foods. What can we
Yeah.
do green? And we're not going to disappoint today.
So what do we have on today's agenda, Janet?
Well, let's take a traditional easy supper idea because people are gearing up for ballparks, spring activities, even though they might have to fight a little snow still. But let's think about a homemade pizza.
Sure.
How easy that
Sounds
is,
great.
and we're so used to taking out pizza, but this is a great way that we can green up for St. Patty's Day and create and use some different green vegetables and green sauces and add a little kick to it.
And make it very healthy.
We can make it healthy, but I guarantee you're going to love the taste with this one. It's wonderful. First of all, when choosing homemade pizza, Barry, you know you've got choices. I mean, you can actually go to the grocery and choose a crust that has been pre-baked, it's packaged, it's ready to go, and that's a good thing for the last second that you can do as well. Or what I like to do to give a little more artisan kind of pizzeria flavor is just purchase one of the roll crust.
Okay.
Now you can buy frozen dough, but this is in your refrigerator case. It's the next best thing. It's very, very handy for a lot of us that don't live in some specialty stores. So this is called an artisan pizza crust, and I'm doing a whole grain to add a little more crunch and flavor to it. So you just follow the directions for the crust, and it gives you different options. For instance, it will talk about actually doing a deep dish crust. And if you want to get one of your large skillets, in fact, I'd probably get one even larger than this one.
Okay,
yeah, just, you know, a real big iron skillet. You can create a deep dish pizza by unrolling the dough and just kind of fitting it in the iron skillet, kind of heating it just a little on the stove before you pop it in to bake it. Now that's going to give a real soft crust, but it's a different way. And you may notice that I put a little cornmeal in that.
Yes.
To give just a little bit of texture to the crust
kind
as
of
well.
the same principle as cooking cornbread in a skillet like that?
It kind of is, only we don't do a lot of spraying. We just kind of put the cornmeal in, kind of put the skillet on a burner just a second, put the dough in, just let it rise just a second. Okay, pull it off, and then we get ready to do just like we're going to do. Now, I like a thin, crispy crust. A lot of people like a thicker crust, but I like to work with that, and I'll take one of the pizza trays that actually have the holes in them,
Sure.
And that's what I've done here, and I've taken the dough out. Now the dough comes out just like crescent rolls, and the other you can see it's going to come out in a rectangle.
Right.
So all you do is you just kind of fit that, and I use a little rolling pin here to kind of roll the crust on, and then you bake according to the directions. And the can will say if you have a light aluminum pan, set your oven at 425. If you have some of the darker pans, 400. So just choose what you have and do that. You bake this for approximately 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
And all we've done is just set the crust. We've got it to that stage.
Now, do you put any like Pam or anything underneath the crust?
All I'm doing is spraying, and I'll take usually an olive oil, a canola oil, or a spray, and I spray the pan just a little bit to make sure it will come off. And that's all you have to do. Now, we're going to put a little spray on in just a moment when we get it going. But now we're ready to build the pizza. So if you keep these crusts on hand, you're good to go for a 30-minute meal. Very easy, very fast. Okay, so we have the crust. Now what we're going to do is think about sauce. That's the next step, and everybody traditionally uses pizza sauce, maybe an Alfredo sauce. Some people like barbecue sauce, you know, with those things. So choose your sauce. I'm going to give you a recommendation that I think you're really going to love, and that is to buy a jar of pesto. Now, pesto is simply basil leaves, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, and some pine nuts or walnuts, and you're just grinding that all together in the food processor. So you can make your own, or you can buy it in a jar. Hence the jar.
Exactly.
But I have made it. I grow basil in the summer, and it's a good way to use basil leaves. If you're going to have a basil plant on your deck or something, it's a good way to do it. So all we're doing now is we're taking the commercial pesto, and you know, you spread it to the thickness that you like. So I'm just going to kind of put and cover and make a nice kind of covering on the pizza and put it out almost as far as you want. Leave a little bit of the edge there, and we're just going to kind of spread this out. Now this has a great fragrance.
It does. I can smell it.
It's really good. And you can see the nuts that we have in the pesto here. And it's just a really delicious condiment to have on hand. And you can actually take French bread or a real thick artisan bread, brush it with olive oil, and then even bake it for an appetizer.
Okay.
It's just wonderful. Sprinkle it with a little Parmesan cheese. But you see, we just kind of cover the crust. So this becomes a sauce, not as liquid as we think of with tomato sauce, but it's going to add a lot of flavor, to what we're doing. So let me set this aside. Now we just, as you do with any pizza, you build it. You put your favorite things on it.
Sure.
Okay.
So what are your favorite things?
So in honor of St. Patty's Day, since we've got kind of our green sauce going, we're going to add some green vegetables. And what I've done here is slice some broccoli crowns into the flowerets. Just simply separated them out into the tiny flowerets and sliced a green pepper. You could add any kind that you want. And then I put that in the microwave, Barry, for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
See, it's got this really rich color on it. It's just a little, just tiny cooked, but it's not your raw state.
Right.
Okay. And that's what you really need to do with any kind of fresh vegetable that you could put this on a frozen pizza that you already buy. But you do want to kind of knock the raw stage off.
Okay.
And kind of fix it so that you're really getting it to this intense color right here, because you're not going to really cook this that long.
And it is really green.
Isn't
Big
it
time
pretty?
green. It's very nice,
It is. Yes, it is. So we're adding, you just add whatever you want, and you can build it, or you can just put a little on it as well. Now, instead of regular onion, we're going to do a little green onion.
Okay.
Of course. So we're just going to kind of sprinkle that on. This adds a less intense flavor than some of the regular onions that people would add to pizza. But I think it's kind of nice. And again, we've got this wonderful green pizza.
Yes.
Now we could stop right here if you really wanted a St. Patty's pizza, and we could just go with the cheese, etc.
Like a vegetarian type pizza.
Absolutely, a vegetarian type pizza. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a little more flavor. And you could have gone ahead and put some Parmesan cheese under the vegetables. We may add a little bit on top and let it melt. So either way, I kind of like it, to put it on the crust underneath the vegetables.
Sure.
It doesn't hide the vegetables as much, and it's kind of neat. But we'll add a little bit on the top, and we'll show you that. But I'm going to add one more kick vegetable, and this is a sun-dried tomato.
Okay, very good.
Now, obviously, those of you who are familiar with Italian cookery know that sun-dried tomatoes are just delicious.
They're very good.
These are tomatoes that have all the flavor concentrated in drying them, and they've also been canned in olive oil.
Okay.
So what you want to do, what I'm recommending, is that you kind of put these on some paper towels, put some towels on top, kind of pat them, let that oil kind of soak up, because you really don't want it to be that oily.
Right.
With it. So you can see that that's what I've done. You still have a little oil that you can see, but we've taken a lot of it out, made it healthy. That's to add just a really good flavor kick. Now, another way to make this healthy, as we said, is to do the julienne sun-dried tomatoes, which we've cut those into strips. I didn't cut them. I purchased them that way.
Sure.
But if you wanted to, now these are the whole ones, and they work fine if you'd rather have just a kind of a big piece, and make it a true vegetarian pizza. But I'm going to bow to the meat lover in me. And I'm going to add a little pepperoni. Now, this is a pepperoni that is a turkey pepperoni.
Turkey, okay.
So if you really are looking to reduce your sodium and your calories, this takes about 70% of the calories out. Now, I don't usually advocate, because I'm a meat lover. I am in moderation.
Right.
And we know that Macon and Allen counties and all the counties across our viewing area are very big into the livestock production, so we want to support them.
Most certainly.
But for this type of dish, a little pepperoni goes a long way. And pepperonis are very high in sodium and fat.
Yes.
So we're going to take this down, because with the taste, we can do that. You don't have a lot on there. Again, 70% of the fat you're taking out here.
I did not even know they made turkey.
They do. You can purchase them in a package. They're very economical. They have a long shelf life, so it's something that you can purchase and add. And again, if you were eating a serving of these just yourself, you can eat 17 and have 70 calories.
Yeah.
So,
That's-
but you're not going to eat 17.
No, but
You're
that's, I was
not.
going to say, that's nothing as far as calories are
That's nothing, and so that's why just a little more flavor is
sure.
what we've done here. Now, we can add the mozzarella cheese. Like I said, we could have added it under the crust,
Right.
and it would get a nice, have a nice balance, or we could just simply put a few slices here on top. The sliced mozzarella cheese on the bottom often works the best because, again, it's going right into the crust, and it's kind of nice. Otherwise, you can use the shredded, but we're going to top with shredded Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
And that way, we're kind of duplicating the flavor in the pesto, and we just have a really nice cheese combination
We
then
do there, yeah.
for the pizza. So this is a beautiful pizza to do, like I said, and now we're going to put this in the oven for approximately 15-ish minutes until
Okay.
the cheese melts.
Okay.
And remember, we're on 425, so we'll go ahead and put it in. But by the wonders of the kitchen here, we have we do. We actually have a pizza that we've already finished. It's been here a little while. So this is best eaten piping hot.
Yes.
And it's great, but it's wonderful. But you can see how colorful the pizza is. It's
Yes.
just delightful. It
It's
is.
awesome, yeah.
A lot of neat flavors in your St. Patty's Pizzeria in
yeah.
your kitchen.
So the pizza companies have nothing on you on this one, do they?
They do not. They do not. And like we say, anyone can do this and put all kinds of combinations together, but it's a great way to build a great vegetable pizza.
And how much enjoyment do you get out of cooking something like this, knowing
Oh.
that it's so healthy?
It is. It's wonderful. And what I like even better, Barry, is it tastes great. I mean, we can talk about having great health and healthy diets, but it comes down to flavor.
Sure.
And this is a wonderful flavor. You're really going to enjoy the flavors on this particular pizza that is really rich with
Well,
broccoli.
We are going to enjoy that here momentarily,
Yes.
but we, of course, want to thank you all for watching today. Of course, St. Patrick's Day is just upon us, and this would be a great dish to make for your St. Patrick's Day celebration. So, again, if you'd like the recipe today, you can email me at North Central. My email address is barry.hyatt@nctc.com, or you can check out our website. It's nctc.com. Janet, next month is April. I won't put you on the spot this month. Just be thinking about what you want to be doing for next month, and we'll keep you guys posted on that when we tape next month. But again, thanks so much for joining us. Take care, and we will see you next month.